In 2000, I went to the US with a year-on-year sales of 25% increase. But when I came back after 1 month, my factory was shut. I checked around and I found that one of our leading competitors, what they did was they dropped the weight. Now the question was, should we start a Shakti Light or should we start, something lesser weight? Keeping in mind that I wanted to go to OEM, I decided that I once remember going to a dealer and he said, what is this? You come for sell a tank? I need 1 rupee commission. I can't give you 1 rupee commission. Okay, he said, go. The same dealer called me back one day and he asked me for the tank. So I said, okay, I'll give you the tank. But he called because what we did is we went to the customer rather than expect the dealer to sell for us. He had to call me because his customer asked for it.
About your manufacturing excellence. I have seen you in your factory also. You hardly present in the factory. Everything is on autopilot. So how did you achieve that?
Right from the beginning, we focused on making systems, and even if I'm not around, those decisions will go as per that. Then you have a software which guides you in making the same. So there is no what do I do now. It's already fixed, and make sure that the people know what they have to do. 99% it is already, path is already set.
How do you started your networking in this and why you feel that networking is so important?
If I sit 24 hours in my factory, who do I discuss with? It's very important, I think, because you get a lot of information outside which your entrepreneur needs to run his own unit. What are the new things that are happening? Kiske paas inspector aaya hai, what he asked, and then you fine tune your own organization.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our Veekay talks. As you know, we bring many guests who share their wisdom and their stories of their entrepreneur journey, as well as their success stories, their challenges with us. So today we have a guest from the rotomoulding industry. It's a very niche product industry. He will share with us his success story and his total entrepreneurial journey with us. I welcome Blaise sir. Blaise sir, welcome to our channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your golden jubilee.
Yes, thank you, sir. As a start, before we are discussing about your Shakti story, your GMI story, your global partnership, your views on everything, we'll start from your early days. So how do you started your company? Why you thought in 90s to enter in the rotomoulding business? At that time, the rotomoulding business was only for water tanks. So why did you started? And even in Goa?
One is whatever has happened till today has been the blessing because of blessings from above and work. But when I was studying in 1992, I was sent by my company abroad to the Asian Institute of Management.
Okay.
And I did not want to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
That's why I use the term reluctant entrepreneur when I write. But when I went in 90, India was a controlled environment,
Yes.
So the dollar was pegged at a certain rate and things like that. And when I was doing a study for my company, I was working for a tin manufacturer. We used to make tins for Colgate, Ponds, food container tin, And when I was I did a strategy for them. And one of the parts of the Porter model, which is a tool for strategy, is you check competition, not another company, but maybe another material. So for tin, plastic was a competitor. So I studied plastic.
Okay.
And I realized it was a sunrise industry for India. It was 1 kg or something we were using, while the US was at 14 kgs per head.
Right.
So it was a sunrise industry. When I came back to India, Dr. Manmohan Singh liberalized things.
Right.
And I got married in Goa in 94. And I thought that, there were some facilities being offered. And I asked myself, why not? I've already set up a factory for somebody else. Why not? And I was very keen on a process called injection molding, but engineering plastics.
Okay.
In this process, once someone, Ashraf, who became my partner, told me that there is a process called rotomoulding. Why don't you look at it? So I studied rotomoulding. And what I realized then was that there's a big gap in rotomoulding. Like out of 100 rotomoulders, 99 are water tank manufacturers. In the West, out of 100, one is a water tank, into the product order. So I felt there was a scope in that. And that's how I chose rotomoulding. That's how I chose plastic. And I chose Goa because everybody retires to Goa. Why not I start in Goa to retire? And it's happening.
So in 90s, Goa was a challenging place.
Yes, I would think that one of the reasons I didn't want to get into business because it was a challenging thing to be doing business in India. But for Dr. Manmohan Singh's liberalization policy, it became easier. You don't need a license for anything. You could just start. So that's what happened. So yes, it was challenging, and it took a hell of a long time to actually, because you have no job, you're setting it up. It took 1 year, 8 months to become productive, waiting for the land, waiting for the paperwork
everything.
and electricity. But it finally started in June of 96.
96. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your early challenges while starting up the company, like, and your from initial stages, you have a partner with you?
Yeah, so when I decided to start, I'm a guy who keeps in touch and I like to meet people. So I happened to go to SIDBI, and below was my supplier from my tin plate days, I met Ashraf Chithalwala. And when he met me, he asked me what you're doing, and I told him I'm going to start a factory in Goa for plastics. Straight off the bat, he said, okay, I will, you have operational experience, but you don't have money. So I would like to partner with you. We'll go 50-50. And one of the reasons is that he had a good relationship with me when I was working, and I didn't take any kickbacks and all, so he could trust me. That was the starting, and we started from there.
Okay.
So that's one thing. We had a partner. But I was supposed to run the company. I still do up to today. And when I started, yes, I always believe that like childbirth, mothers don't remember the pain. So as an entrepreneur, I think even I don't remember too much of the pain. There's some pain points have been there. They come and go, but it's something. But finance, for example, I went to a bank and they'll say, "Nay, kal, come tomorrow, come day after tomorrow." It keeps going.
Yes.
But one thing happened was the chairman of SBI, Mr. Kakotkar.
Okay.
He had come to Goa to inaugurate their first computerized branch. And in that process, when he was interviewed, he said that Goans are only depositing money and they are not borrowing money. So the papers next day said, Goans have no guts. Just because there's money, you have to have. So I wrote to the paper. That was my first letter to the editor in Goa. I like to write, but that was my first. And I said, the chairman doesn't know the ground reality. There are many people like me who are asking for a loan. But the bank manager is saying, you bring 80% of that as FD. So I said, if I had FD of 80%, why would I borrow? He told me, okay, you bring from your friends and relatives. So I said, okay, my friends and relatives give. You are charging me. At that time, the rate was 19%.
Yes.
He's getting 8 or 9% for his FD. But if something goes wrong, you will take his FD. So risk is his and return is yours. I said, ऐसा नहीं ऐसा friend and relative नहीं है मेरे पास. I can't use the word I said to him, but I told him not possible. So the bank, when I wrote that letter, the head of the bank called me. And she was actually upset with me for writing that letter. And she was shouting at me as I entered her cabin. She was a Parsi, so she must have been very angry because Parsis are normally cool people.
Yes.
So I asked her if I have done anything wrong. She said, there's no such requirement of 80% FD. So I said, who should know that? Me or your bank manager? So if he doesn't know, what can I do? She said, you have complained. Complained to whom about what? He didn't ask me for the FD in his name. He's asking in the bank's name. So what should I... So then she said, okay, you write one letter saying that you have made a mistake and we'll process. I said, see, hello, I'm starting now. You show me where I made the mistake, I will apologize. But in this conversation, I have made no mistake. Please process my application on merit. So then I went back, and again, the guy was very upset that I had complained or whatever it is. I wrote a letter to the chairman and said, what more you want me to do? I gave my balance sheet up to that date, February. He was retiring in March. 1st of March, I got a call. To make a long story short, The papers were all kept. I just had to sign. And then they said, okay, now say that your problem is sorted. They sent it back. And that's how I started with, so it was yeah, so that was one of the things that happened.
Okay. Other than this, what was your toughest challenge?
Well, getting the market, right? You have to break into a market that is already, let's say, everybody had, at that time, everybody sold tanks, given the fact that you bought a truckload. So every dealer you went to would already have a go down full of tanks. Yes. And you have to sell to him again. So and when I was doing this process of building the factory, this 1 year 8 months, I manufactured tanks in Baroda, where I was getting my machine from, and I was selling them under my brand in Goa.
Okay.
So that gave me an insight into the market, one tank, and how the transport was an issue.
Yes.
So I have made it from the beginning when I started, just in time, because we deliver to the dealer will say, send one tank to Vishwas. I'll send you one tank and give him the bill. So no stock would be kept by him. So that was one thing that we did. And the other was that we started making the tanks in our factory, not in certain optimum sizes, but as per order. Oh. So we didn't make stock, we just came. So, and entering into the market, we had to fight again. Now, one of the things was price. Most of the people who came into the market would always be undercutting the market leader.
Yes.
So I said that my product is actually better than the market leader. So I will not undercut my product, because the only lesson I learned in AIM, I used to not like marketing. The only lesson was there is that you cannot sell on price. You have to sell on features. So if you sell on price, then you're in a different league. So I said, okay, my price tank is as good as the best. I will charge. So I was just below the market leader. That basically the transport component, which I felt. And that's how I entered the market. So convincing people that is the correct thing, because the market leader is much, this much only, was a tough challenge. And we finally kind of worked it, and it helped.
When did you feel that now the water tank market, you have to shift from water tank market to environmental products and other B2B products?
So I didn't shift. I started.
You start. Okay.
Yeah,
started parallelly.
Yeah, I started knowing that I want to get into the other products. So while we sold water tanks, we became ISO certified. It didn't make any sense to the water tank market, but it get me ready for the industrial products or the B2B products. Then I told you we were doing just-in-time delivery, because B2B doesn't want truckload. They want 5, they want 10, they want 50, they want as per their schedule.
Yes.
So for that, production was also in that form for us. Delivery was in that form. And the last thing that I did to be ready was I built this in-house kind of system, which runs till today. It has a serial number for every product. So while we were making water tanks, we had a serial number on the water tank. So, and that number was for you. So I knew who I sold this tank to. And it had traceability right up to the end, and the system was such that I think I may be the only one who has got material from one of the suppliers of raw material. They don't take any responsibility.
Right.
But we once made pallets for a customer. And when we made the second load of pallets, the same load was bending. So he complained. And when we checked the pallets, we found that there was nothing wrong with the process. We had cut the pallets. But the only thing was the material that we used. So we approached the supplier. They agreed with us. They checked. You must have used somebody else's material. But when they saw our system and they saw we know what material went into this product, they realized that it was their material. They were clear. But they said, we don't have any system of giving you material, replacement, because they are a monopoly kind of. But he said, okay, you give us some other project and we'll give you material against that for that quantity. So we gave him the thing and then he gave us. So I think I might be the only one who has got like that. Otherwise, they don't give. But because of the system, we got it. And that is
Yes,
what.
absolutely.
So we created the base and then we got into, we were looking for it. We got a B2B. We made somebody was going to import some parts from Italy. So we made that bin for them to their. Yes. And then we got an order from Bombay was the first one. And it started like that. So slowly, it was not like you just get into it, but a slow movement into that.
Movement.
And today we are about 80-20. 20% is water tanks and 80% is OEM.
OEM.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you feel now? There's environmental products or water tanks. What will be the next demand, or what will
No, we are
be the
focused on
future
OEM.
of water tanks?
Water tanks, I think this is not going to go out of style.
Okay.
But there are, like you say, we had developed some environmental products. Now, everybody has this problem with plastic. They say plastic is bad or something like that. So there was a situation in Goa where the dump in Panjim shut down. So then the garbage had to be sent somewhere. So they were sending their garbage and people were standing on the road to prevent it from coming from north to south and, things like that. So at that time, I looked at a process of, say, composting. Why can't we use plastic? And one of our customers had ordered a mold and they shut down. Kodak had shut down. We decided they didn't want to do film anymore. So that mold for a kind of a bin was ready. So using that bin, I experimented with the help of some environmentalists or people who knew about it and made a composting bin. But in that process, when I was searching for someone to help, I called one of these environmentalists and I said that I need some help. She said, no, if we work with a plastics company, then what is the big, how can a environmental company work with a plastics company? So I explained to her that the computer you use for articles is plastic. The pen you write is plastic.
It's
and I said, I
plastic.
don't know how you have a bath, but generally a plastic tumbler is involved. So the problem is not plastic.
Why to say about that? Just when you get up and do
Brushing.
first thing as a brushing, brush
Yeah.
is a plastic.
So I said the whole idea is that plastic, if you had to take milk in the same glass bottle it was before, today you would need, let's say, 100 trucks to just do the same, and we need
and
more
the
than
cost
that.
will be 40% higher.
Yeah. And then you're using so much of gas. So plastic has its advantages. The problem is how you use it or how you throw it. So that is where the problem lies, not in, and then we developed it. So plastic is there. Then there was people were complaining. So I kind of developed some plastic products, but I think that the people are not ready for it. It's too cheap. Like in Europe, you have to recycle your water because water is expensive.
Yeah.
You have to do your garbage composting because if you try to throw it here and there, it's cost you a hell of a lot. Here, it doesn't matter. So people are not ready. There are very few people who are willing to do these things.
So about your water tank Shakti. So as we say, the product is is a commodity. It's not anything which nobody is. Everyone is right now in, I think, Maharashtra also, or in West region. There are many small tank manufacturers are there. Or I have met 2-3 hardware people who themselves started the rotomoulding tanks manufacturing. So in this, how you kept yourself differentiated in the market and kept your space for Shakti tank?
So I think I agree with you
because there is a lot every as you said, every new person when came in the market, he always tried to cut down the cost. He always play with the pricing and he disturbs the market.
Yeah. So I agree with you. One of the ways we do market study is we see, oh, this guy was cycling, then he started this business and now he has got a Maruti 800 and then he got a Tata car. So he must be doing well. So I will get into that business. That is our market research.
Right.
We don't see what is there. We look at this part and we start. So that's why you have so many people starting. The dealer will say, why do I have to buy from him and then sell? I'll make my own. So that's the limit of market study that we do, unfortunately. and maybe we have the enough of funds to do something, and we get into it. But first thing was, when I started, I looked for a brand. And I thought of something which is related to Goa, like coconut or something. Then I thought that it's going to go outside or be recognized outside. So then I finally figured out on Shakti, which is recognizable anywhere in India,
Yeah.
you can say. So Shakti, that's how I picked the brand. So it's important to have a brand which you. Now we are mostly these smaller people who come in and go. They have different brand because of excise at that time.
Yeah.
You know, you had excise limit, so एक brand वो दूसरा excise के दूसरा brand.
दूसरा brand.
So that was the way. So one was the brand, so that brand became. Two, I spent a lot of time advertising my product. Means I use hoardings, I use wall paintings. I had 2 places in Goa where half the tank was stuck on the hoarding. The actual tank was there, so it kind of attracted attention to that thing. And we started, everyone would say, oh, we are the tank that water is this or something, the best tank or something. So I went in and said, these are the specific advantages of a Shakti: a threaded lid, black inside, or like outside, white inside, and UV protected, 100% virgin. I gave the features, just like my lessons. And that slowly, like, when I once remember going to a dealer and he said, he said, what is this? Your compost cellar tank? I need 1 rupee commission. I can't give you 1 rupee commission. Okay, he said, go. The same dealer called me back one day and he asked me for the tank. And I knew the situation. But now I'm selling. So I said, okay, I'll give you the tank. But he called, because what we did is we went to the customer rather than expect the dealer to sell for us.
Right.
So if he sells for us, he's not going to. He doesn't have the time. So if the customer asks for it, then he will. That's what happened to that dealer. He had to call me because his customer asked for it.
Right.
So that is how we kind of pushed. We didn't go the dealer route. And the dealer route means you have to cut your price. We say, I'm getting this and I'm getting that. So yeah, we did it.
You kept your sales channel through dealers, but
I didn't ask them to do the work.
Yeah, but you advertise yourself directly to the customer.
And I used to, that is the thing. I went to the customer and then they would go to the dealer.
Exactly.
That way. And so in that way, I remember one dealer was asking me, you did MBA and all. What is the big advantage? So I told him MBA. I thought he was asking for his nephew or something like that. So I said, MBA is good for decision making. It helps you. So he says, okay, if I want a decision now, if you don't give me 100% dealership for South Goa, distributorship, I'm going to stop your brand. I mean, stop selling your brand. He was under the impression that he was selling 50% of my sales. He was actually selling a few percent, but I didn't want to change his opinion. So then I told him that the way I look at it is that decision making is, if I give you 100% and tomorrow some other brand gives you 1 rupee more, you will go there because you're the businessman and I will lose my 100%. Now, if I don't give you and you go somewhere else, I will lose only 50%. So I think my MBA tells me 50% better than 100%. So I will not give you distributorship. And I didn't give him distributorship. And he did try something, like he would tell someone that the price below that, what was the selling price to the dealer. And then they would go to the other dealer and say, see, he's giving cheaper. Then they would call me. I'd say, see, boss, he's giving you cheaper now. Buy from him. I will sell to him. You buy from him. You are getting the price you're asking for. But he couldn't sell because he was only trying to spoil the market. So I never told him, okay, I'll also give you. No, I said, you buy from him and see whether he can give it to you. So that way so I made sure that I didn't get into, and you said that everybody wants to come in, the new guys. But I must tell you that in 2000, I went to the US with a year-on-year sales of 25% increase, But when I came back after 1 month, there was not so strong internet, and 1 month, my factory was shut. We were just in time, so we made to order. No orders, no factory was running. That was the way it was. Then I checked around and I found that one of our leading competitors had dropped their price by 33%. And the trade was telling me, you also said, if I have 33% margin, it's why would I, be driving a Tata Mobile? I would be driving a Mercedes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I then picked up some tanks on the market and checked, and I found that what they did was they dropped the weight.
Okay.
Okay. Now the question was, should we start a Shakti Light, or should we start, something lesser weight? And then keeping in mind that I wanted to go to OEM, where you can't do this kind of thing, where you can't drop the weight and
Right.
just supply and all that, I decided that I would stick to my weight. I would not put Shakti Light, because what customer was saying was they want cheaper tank, but they want a good tank. They're not saying they want a bad tank cheap.
Right.
So that means I would be making more to make the same money. I would be making more, putting more effort, and the yield or the customer would be less satisfied. So I decided I wouldn't do that. I would only, and I advertise my weight. And slowly we went from -5 to back up, and we didn't change our price. So I just maintained the quality right through, and I had to convince my customers that yes, there's quality is important, and this is one of the factors.
So now today your majority business now comes from the
OEM.
OEM business. So how did this happen from B2C? You shifted to B2B business.
So I told you I was already in it, and slowly we got one customer, and then we had to do those things. And
Because in B2B, when you started selling out the tanks or many products, it was a very new concept for the rotomolding.
yes,
Because in B2B, rotomolding is not uh, a widely spread use.
yes.
So very niche.
So that's when we were looking for a partner. In I was looking. I did contact somebody in Australia, but they wanted only toys, so we didn't go with them. Then in this process, we got a partner, and that partner, we got one order with that partner, and there it started. And slowly, the word spread, and you also have to maintain your quality and things like that. And we already had the systems in place, so that helped. And that's the way we kind of built it. It was a one step at a time and one customer at a time. We did lose some customers who came and didn't find us good enough, but slowly we have caught on.
Right. And about you're about uh, global partnership with GMI.
Yeah.
So how did you why did you feel to do with another JV
Yeah, so
with
at that
a
time,
European partner? And um, if one person want to do these things, a JV with a new partner or finding a new partner, how he should go for it?
So, like I said, I'm into networking.
Yes.
So, one of the people who, I don't know if you know, Dr. Kapadia, he used to be a lot with Polyus with Reliance before.
Yeah.
And now he's moved out of Rotomoulding. But he met somebody who was looking for a partner in India.
Okay.
And he referred our name to them.
Oh.
So they had already come to India and gone back. So then we kind of they said, okay, if you want to present your company, send us some material. So then I went to a studio like this, and I made a kind of a small presentation on a CD, and I sent it to them. They liked what they saw on the CD. So they said, okay, you come to France. So we went and met them, and then they came and they checked what was on the CD. That is, we had uniforms, and we had done some improvements. So we checked it. And one of the things that stood us in good stead was the fact that I did not reduce my weight.
Oh, again.
So that was one thing that they liked, and that means, and then we started. But the logic of that was, when you're going in for B2B, you need to have different machines. So we had a Kacha, we imported a Kacha, which is an expensive machine. Now, to run that kind of machine is not the same as running a rock and roll machine. To make the molds, cast molds, is again not the same as making a water tank mold. So there was a lot of technicalities required. So I felt it was good to have a partner at that time to this. And then like I said, they came in with one order from it closed down, but Renault had come to India and they got that to make a tank. Very complex mold, but we made that tank.
Okay.
And if you ask me how does anyone go about it, I think that you have to look at yourself inside and be ready. You can't say, okay, now I have a partner, I'll be ready. So there are certain things that you need to have, like your accounts and all. When they do due diligence, things should be clean or clear. So a lot of time that is a big problem.
About your manufacturing excellence, as you stated, your system was working. So it is this type of systems really pays off you off, and because I have seen you in your factory also, you hardly present in the factory. Everything is autopilot. So how did you achieve that?
Well, when you say hardly present in the factory, in the early days, one of the excise inspectors came and he found one tank extra in the RG one. And then he was saying, okay, it's a problem. I said, you please charge sheet us so that people know that I'm not here to sort these kind of things. They're supposed to do their job. And I will not be sitting here to look at it because I have
Exactly.
other things to do. So right from the beginning, we focused on, because I'm not an engineer, but my strong point was system. So I focused on making systems. And even if I'm not around, those decisions will go as per that. Then you have a software, which is like an ERP, which guides you in making the same. So there is no, what do I do now? It's already fixed.
Right.
So that helps and make sure that the people know what they have to do. There are some times when they have to take their own decision, but 99% it is already the path is already set. So yeah, and if you want to change it, then you have to discuss or whatever and change. But it's possible to change it. I also say that we may be doing something for 25 years, and today we find out there's a new way of doing it. We'll change. There's nothing sacrosanct except for being ethical and making sure that we're not, doing something to it. Otherwise, everything is changeable.
Everything is changeable.
Yeah.
Okay. While working in partnership, I think I'm never seen your partner is interfering with your work. So how you both distributed the work in between you, and how you complement each other?
So, like I told you very early on, that I was supposed to run the company.
Yeah.
But before I get there, you see, if you see a turtle on a pole, you must ask how he got there. So obviously somebody helped him up there or something like that. So even when we do GMI Zarhak, there's a lot of people who help, but I'm the face of the company. You don't see them, and we are like a board-run company. So a couple of people who I would say were there. One was my wife, who actually had to support this whole venture, because if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need the support of the wife, and she's also been part of the whole process, except when the children were young, and then now she's back in thing. Then I don't have just two partners. Ashraf is one of them. They're the main partners. Then he said, you are an operations guy. I'm in a trading type of business. So we need the third party. And we have someone called Anand Mehta, who's also a partner. Now he's going to retire. And then we have the French. So, but everything is been running from the beginning. But I'm the face.
Yes.
Yeah. So there has been their contribution in the board, finance, ideas, it's there. And we are working like that. And it's now 30 years that we've been working together. With the French, it's 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a ability to discuss, argue. But at the end of the day, we move forward together.
So you guys regularly do
there are board meetings and
board
things like
meetings
that. And all, yeah. It's
Okay.
regular.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's very rare to see, because many of the times after some time, people don't uh, really appreciate the way they started each other.
Yeah, so that's very important, even on my side, to appreciate their support rather than say only I did all this, because I'm the working person. So I can say I've done all this. But without their support, or their presence, it would not be possible.
It won't be possible. Right.
Yeah.
So about you're also a member of CI and everything. What is how do you started your networking in this, and why you feel that networking is so important in
Yeah.
the
So
matter
I've
of
been quite
business?
involved in the different industry organizations, in social organizations. And when I first started, I was going for one meeting and I was thinking to myself, should I be cold calling or should I be going for this meeting? And then I read an article by C.K. Prahlad, and he
Okay.
was talking about who do you promote from among your divisional head to be the CEO. And he was saying it's not the best divisional head, because a divisional head looks inside and brings out. A CEO looks outside and tells the division what to bring out. So I felt that for me, as a small industry or an MSME, I had two caps: outward looking and inward looking.
All right.
So outward, if I sit 24 hours in my factory, who do I discuss with? Who do I, bounce ideas of? Who will give me some other ideas? So when I go out, I go for these meetings. You're also contributing over there, and you're also picking up things that are happening, and you're building a network. So when I said I didn't cold call today, let's say in Goa, I go for a meeting or somebody wants a tank, they say call Blaise.
All
So
right.
it automatically became a cold call.
All right.
Yeah. So, but it's very important, I think, because you get a lot of information outside which an entrepreneur needs to run his own unit. What are the new things that are happening? What is kiske paas inspector aaya hai? What he asked, and then you fine tune your own organization.
Right.
So I feel that is a requirement to be.
A requirement to be there. So what about the now the sustainability is coming up in the market and everything. Now many people have now for limited companies ESG reporting is compulsory, mandatory, and everything. So what is the future and sustainable solutions in rotomolding?
So in sustainable is whether we use diesel to gas,
Yes.
we recycle our water using solar power, doing work inside to reduce your energy consumption. That is something that we are already working on, and we are doing these things. Where all my factories have got recycled waters recycled. In both the factories in Goa and Sola, all are on gas. So it's not yet mandatory from a customer point of view, but sooner than later they will ask you for these things. So you have to be prepared or investing in them and doing these things. So there's no two ways about it. And rotomoulding is not separate from the rest of the industry. So sooner than later we'll also have to be doing these things. So we might as well get involved and start earlier on. So we are like future ready.
Okay. But about the rotomolding product future, what is the next
No, I think that
sustainability?
we are too focused on customized parts and that like OEMs. Okay? But rotomolding has a big future because there are a lot of products that will be coming up now. With EV, you need lighter weight, so there'll be products, and it is not going anywhere. The water
Right.
tank though will be there, but there'll be many other things that you can do. So I just hope that the people who get in don't just, what is happening now is we just copy. And so I go to your factory and say, or your customer and say, I give 10% less and or 10 paisa less, and you try and get that order. Well, I say that you should just go, and there are many products that can be made, and we should be looking at it and developing those products.
All right.
Instead of limiting ourselves to what is already made. It's the same thing I told you. You ask when you do your thing. He's got a car. Okay, he's got thing. So that is a product to make. There could be many more.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Right. When you look back at your journey, uh, yeah, you developed a brand. You um, started from one plant to now there are three plants. Your team, the ecosystem you developed about the rotomolding and everything. What gives you the deepest pride about in this?
Well, it's having achieved something. You have created something. There's also a factor of humbling, which is like, why aren't you bigger than you are? it could be more than it in so much of time. Why aren't you there? But one of the things that happened is we've done it, I could say, my way. Two, we have built this entire platform on an ethical foundation, which is very difficult, but we have done it. We have grown deep roots. So like the bamboo, we have gone deep roots. We can spring up, or we can start anything. It's very easy. I can start a new unit in some place and put my software in, and I'm ready to go there. So it's that kind of a thing.
Right.
And we've given employment over the years. We got a good reputation among our customers, with our suppliers, with the government. We don't have any, in 30 years, any cases on us, or things like that. So it's pretty good.
As a self-made entrepreneur, what legacy you want to leave behind?
I think I'm too small to leave behind a legacy.
No, still, because see, and as you just said, with ethical background, to create something till this, because you have seen the manufacturing era of excise,
Yes.
VAT, which was the most difficult era in terms of your products and or any products, because at that time that was the paperwork was so stringent that even one paper can inspector can seize your factory with that one paper problem.
Inspector.
Yeah. Inspector. Yeah. Not the superintendent. It's a different thing. And today we have living in a much easier way when we compare to excise era. So in this all journey, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
Still, I'm saying that what I meant was that we are too small to say that it's a legacy.
Still, then for your company, you can say.
I once heard a talk by one of the Tata satraps, Rusi Modi.
Okay.
And he was saying that the Tatas could have been much bigger if they did some things which others do, but they chose not to do. I heard as a chairman of GMA, that's a Goa management, we had Azim Premji who came and spoke of ethical being good for business.
Yes.
So if I have to say that today, so these were the ideals I followed. So the company I run follows these ideals. And we have managed to stay afloat despite that. So if I have to say, I would like to say that if others can be motivated by, because most people think it's not possible. So I say, if others can be motivated by it, then fine. That's what I would like to keep.
Okay. So as an ending note, any special suggestion for the new entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs?
So I would think that some of the things we did and what entrepreneurs should do as a thing is, one is financials. Most of the entrepreneurs who are coming, they try to save tax, so they don't book some bills, which in the long run, like shooting yourself in the foot, because your sale is not growing, it's just going sideways, and the money is actually you're leaking your own boat or making a hole in your own boat. So they should focus on financials and how to report those financials in such a way that the bank sees advantage. As an entrepreneur, we never look at what the bank, they're doing some assessment of you, your debt equity ratio, how much your investment is versus what you're borrowing. And we are not worrying about it. We just put it anywhere and we don't structure our balance sheets. We're there, but we don't structure it so that they can get the benefit. We put money and say short term, but promoter's money can go into long term. So if you do something like that, so that is one is financials. The second thing would be systems. We should have systems. Whether we are so used to being, I'm the boss and therefore I will do it this way, or then tomorrow I'll do it that way. And the employees are then wavering what to do. So that's required, and especially if you're trying to build a company, then you need system. And the last I would say is that, again, is the ethical thing, because it's good for business. You behave ethically. I mean, you can always put everything in cash, so you save some tax. But to do that, you have to do certain processes which everybody is watching, and in that process, they will also do their process. So it's better if you do it properly. Your things are right. You can be out of the factory doing, selling something, or even being here, and people, the things will run.
Right.
So and it's good. You get good suppliers, you'll get good employees, you'll get good customers because of the system that you have put in place. So I would think that would be my advice to a new entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Blaise sir, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for your wisdom. You shared good stories about your company, and how systems are important for us for everything. Thank you very much for your time
You're
and
welcome.
sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you, sir.